Hildegard is the follow-up game to the excellent Spire's End by Greg Favreau, and in this video I'm going to be taking you through a little section of the game which I've never seen in an adventure card game before, and that is fishing. So stay tuned and let's see if we can catch some fish. So in the previous video I covered how combat works, which is a mechanic known as the face-off, and you know it's a face-off because they're the only cards in the game which are in this horizontal format. And with Hildegard using her slingshot to battle the various enemies throughout the game, the way combat works is we use these shot dice which form bullseyes by combining the various shapes to make the component parts of a bullseye. Well, this bullseye mechanic is used throughout the game in all kinds of clever ways, and none perhaps more clever than using it for a spot of fishing. So at some points during the game you're going to come across a fishing hole, and when you do, this is how it's going to go down. So one of the beauties of both Spire's End and Hildegard is there's minimal setup. You can just get right in and start enjoying the story. Now at this stage, all I've got here are my shot dice, the story deck, and a representation of Hildegard herself. Now at the bottom here, there's a place to track her feats of marksmanship, which is like an in-game reward system that rewards you as you achieve various things throughout the game. And we've got a place to keep her inventory. At this stage in the game, I also have 2 gold, which I track with these little yellow cubes. So let's reveal the next part of the story. Tolug's tackle. You head down to the tackle shop to buy bait. You'll need it to fish. Tolug keeps a spare fishing rod for you behind the counter. Buy your bait, take a cube of the associated colour, and if you're broke, horseflies are free. Place the fishing rod in your inventory and reveal card 64, Fishing Lessons. So at this stage I've got 2 gold, and gold's always useful in a game, so I'm going to keep one. I'm going to spend 1 to buy a whistle cricket, and I'm going to get a horsefly for free. And it instructs me to put the fishing rod in your inventory. So this gets slid under here, a flimsy fishing rod, and I draw the next card. Fishing Lessons. Pull the 3 fishing cards, cards 91, shuffle and place them face down like so. Place 1 or more bait cubes on the fishing spots you'd like to cast on. All bait purchased must be used, so I've got to use both of these cubes. Roll as you would do during an encounter. Now I covered actual use of the shot dice in great detail in the last video, which I'll link to up here, but you'll get a gist of how they work through this playthrough. If these conditions are met, you've got to bite. Turn over the card. If the bait you used is listed, you've successfully caught a fish. Fish as instructed, and then leave the grey oaks and proceed to card 66. So this looks pretty simple. I'm going to lay out in fact let's shuffle them around a little bit. I'm going to lay out my 3 fishing spots, and I'm going to cast my bait. So I am no fisherman, in fact I've never done it in real life, so I think I'm going to go for 2 separate spots. Now I could, I think, have bought some better quality bait for 2 gold, so perhaps that's going to come back to haunt me, but let's go with the 2 we've got. So I think we'll go for these 2 here. So we see on the card that there's an accuracy of 4, and what that means is it will use 4 of these shot dice, and once we've finalised our roll and hopefully achieve some bullseyes, we'll roll a wild shot dice. And again, you can find out more in the video, the combat video that I did about face-offs. So we're going to roll a set. Now this simulates Hildegard using a trusty slingshot. So that is not great. So I have gained a dot, which is actually comes in useful on this card. So you can only use the symbols to form bullseyes listed on the card. So I'm going to lock that in, and I'm going to finesse or re-roll these slingshots, these shot dice. Okay. So I still haven't achieved a bullseye, so I've got that locked in. I think what I'll do is lock that in as well and roll my remaining 2. And there we have it. We have formed a whole bullseye. We'll roll 1 more just to see what happens. That's of no use to us in this particular mode. So now for the wild shot dice. Now this has got some more bullseyes on, but it's also got a misfire, which means that we'd have to sacrifice or discard 1 of our locked dice. So these are our locked dice. Let's roll up. And we've got a misfire, and I can actually discard this one that I didn't use. So all's good. We managed to, well, at least get a bite. Let's see if we caught something. Sunfish, we have our bait matches. Bait, horsefly. So bravo, consuming this fish will bring you luck. You can now use the grey wild shot dice. Remember that only one wild shot can be rolled at the end of each set. If caught, place in your inventory or otherwise discard it. Now these dice aren't actually official components from the game. Greg's had some made professionally, but I actually made these on my laser cutter, and again there's a video linked up here on how I did that. I just did these for fun. So I cut the upgraded wild shot dice. It's white in my case, I couldn't get hold of a grey die, but it's much the same as the black, but instead of having an extra blank face, it's also got this re-roll symbol that allows me at the end of the set to re-roll one of the shot dice. So let's go again on our last thing and see if we can catch another fish. So accuracy 4 again. Now, under normal circumstances, that would be an excellent roll because we'd have a full bullseye. Sadly, these can't be used, so that was an utterly useless roll. So I have to lock one every single turn, so I'll lock that in, re-roll my 3 remaining die, and that's looking pretty promising. So we'll keep that there. I've got one more, we're hoping for a dot. We didn't get it. However, we have got the new upgraded wild shot die. So let's roll that and see what we get. Oh, a re-roll. So I get to re-roll any number of these. So I'm going to re-roll this. Oh, and I didn't manage to catch anything. So that is how the fishing works within the game. I've now completed my fishing quest. I did actually manage to upgrade my die and also get the sunfish in my inventory, and I've still got a gold left over for later on in the game. So not all bad, especially considering that I've never fished in my life, real or simulated. So quite happy with that. And this is just one of the little mini games within Hildegard, and it comes out in July 2021, and I am so excited for the Kickstarter. I love Spire's End. But remember that you don't have to have played Spire's End. You can jump right in and enjoy Hildegard right from the off. So if you like these videos, do consider subscribing. Generally on the channel, I make board game accessories and all kinds of different projects and products that help your games look better, play better, and set up quicker. So I'll put a playlist up on the screen now so you can check out some more of my content. And if you like the look of this, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.